Shiba Inu's final days. The 400 trillion burn is on its way. You probably already know this if you've been watching my content for a while, but Shiba Inu has a bit of a problem at the moment. I'm not talking about the problem that all cryptocurrencies are currently plummeting in price at the start of the year. I'm not talking about the fact that Shiba Inu's price is now setting up camp at the low 20 millionths of a dollar line, although honestly, it is related. No, I'm talking about the fact that the currency, for whatever reason, has still got a massive supply problem that could prevent it from ever reaching the kind of prices we all want it to. Something has to be done, and it will be soon. But what is the supply problem? How does this affect Shiba Inu's status as a viable cryptocurrency, and what's going to happen to fix it? As I'm sure you know by now, I'm going to answer these questions and many others too in the next few minutes, so don't you go anywhere. While I've got your attention, please remember to subscribe to this channel if you care about getting the lowdown on the news that can seriously help you with your investments. And make sure to ring that notification bell so you know when it's time to act. Both of these will help you and help me, so thanks in advance. I am, of course, not a professional financial advisor, and there's always, and I mean always, a risk involved with any investment, so be vigilant, SHIB Army, and make sure you're well informed. With all that out of the way, and if you're finished subscribing, then let's go ahead and get into the muck and figure out what's going on. So yes, I said it and I'll say it again. The single biggest problem that Shiba Inu coin faces in 2022 is something that the development team seems to have accidentally caused for themselves. This is the problem of supply. You know this, I know this too, but for those who don't know, it's basically Economics 101 that two forces govern the calculation of any asset's price, whether in goods or services or even in currency. These are supply, which of course means how much of the thing is available, and demand, which also fairly obviously means how badly people want that thing in question. In the case of Shiba Inu, there is a lot of demand. Not as much as there really should be, considering all the great things about the token and the plans for its future, but a lot. The big problem is that there's also an absolutely ridiculous supply of tokens that are in circulation, meaning that the demand is met easily, to say the very least. Think about consumer durables, like, for example, video games. In the case of Japanese video game publisher Nintendo, they release games and consoles every generation in limited amounts to create artificial scarcity. Because the products are scarce, this means that people who have the cash and want to buy the product often end up having to go onto open marketplaces like eBay and pay many times the retail price to purchase them from someone who was faster at launch. This is the concept of supply and demand in effect, and Shiba Inu faces the opposite problem. When the coin first launched, for some reason, the development team decided to approve a supply of 1 quadrillion tokens. That is an absolutely ludicrous number of tokens of which to flood the market, and as a result, they're not individually worth too much. Look at the rise of NFTs as another example of the opposite. NFTs that are considered valuable are one of a kind. The smart contracts that support them verify their uniqueness and authenticity. As a result, they sell for thousands and sometimes millions of dollars on the decentralized market. Shiba Inu tokens, on the other hand, are currently priced at 21 millionths of a dollar due to their overabundance. Vitalik Buterin, the creator and mastermind behind the Ethereum blockchain network, knows this and showed his expertise in May of 2021 when an anonymous gifter sent him 50% of the total supply of SHIB tokens. This was an amount that at the time was worth almost $7 billion, but is now worth over $32 billion. The sender almost definitely expected what Buterin would do next, and that may be the reason they sent them, because Buterin took some of those tokens and donated them to various charities, including the India COVID Crypto Relief Fund, before burning the remainder and removing them permanently from circulation. When you decrease the supply, you increase the demand. So even though Buterin has gone on record before saying that he doesn't want to be sent huge sums of crypto from developers, he actually did Shiba Inu a massive favor. Recently, Buterin explained to Kobe and Ledger of the Up Only podcast the details of how he went about doing it. It wasn't as easy as I often make it sound. The funds were initially in a cold wallet in the form of 2 numbers written on separate pieces of paper, one with him and one in Canada with his family. Buterin said, "I had to call up my family in Canada and tell them to read the number to me." He then said, "I sent my ETH out by generating a transaction and then on a computer I bought from Target for about $300 for just this purpose." Incredible. He actually bought a $300 laptop just to burn a vast amount of SHIB. Before he disconnected the laptop from the internet completely, Buterin also explained that he had to download a program to generate QR codes and that after he generated the Ethereum transaction, he scanned the QR code with his phone and copied it to the laptop. From there, he put it into etherscan.io/push and sent out the tokens. He said that it was a scary and involved procedure that would actually make a good James Bond movie plot, although he then said maybe it wouldn't. It is a bit techie after all. When asked why he did it, he said that he had attached a note to one of the transactions, saying, "I don't want to be a locus of power of that kind. He added that the scary part is, this is more money than I've ever had. He must really believe what he was doing that day then, and for a good reason. As I've said, the supply of Shiba Inu is a catastrophically large problem, or at least it will be in the future. It's not as though Shiba Inu is doomed though, as some have tried to say. In fact, there's a reason why so many companies like Kraken, Gemini, Newegg, BitPay, AMC Theaters, BitOX, Mover, and CoinJar are getting behind it. The coin has an amazing community, and a whole bunch of projects in the pipeline to help it increase its value, from a DAO to a play-to-earn video game featuring a line of NFTs that will aid in a burn project. The simple fact is that the supply of SHIB, which currently sits at over 500 trillion tokens, is so big that if each token were to somehow become worth even 1 cent in US dollars, then the market cap of the coin would be $5 trillion. That's more than the complete and entire cryptocurrency space's market cap right now. In fact, it's almost triple. In such a ridiculous scenario, the currency would become the most viable currency in the world by far and would render fiat money possibly even useless. As it's entirely possible to pay for common goods and services using Mover's Visa card or CoinJar's MasterCard, and that these can be topped up with SHIB. If the market cap was 500 trillion and everyone owned several million of these 1 cent tokens, there would be over 1 million new millionaires or billionaires. I mean, it's not like it would ever be allowed to happen, but it's a fun thing to imagine for a moment. SHIB would become the world's most dominant currency, and it could actually cause devastation to the United States, to its allies, and to the world economic balance. So I guess maybe by now I've proven my point that the supply of Shiba Inu is ridiculous and doesn't constitute just a problem, but the biggest problem facing the canine currency at the current time. This is why a major burn project is needed. The thing is that the supply is so big that burning huge sums of people's tokens is really difficult. Imagine asking someone to give you $100 to light on fire. They're going to tell you to get out of here. Of course they are. I would. But if you can offer them something for their money, something cheap and easy to produce, and valuable to them, then they'll do it. This is why the NFTs for Shiba Inu's Oshiverse games are charging $100 to allow users to name them, and this is why the world's first crypto record label, Bigger Entertainment, is hosting online live streaming burn parties that are hosted to make an event out of destroying Shiba Inu tokens. Access to the stream is sold for SHIB, and then the SHIB that was used to pay for the ticket to the show is burned as part of the show. There are several of these parties planned for 2022, including 2 of them in the next 3 weeks. You should check them out if you're interested in doing your part to help SHIB appreciate in value. The big burn needs to happen, and around 400 trillion tokens needs to be gone completely before the remainder will begin to appreciate. Never forget that you have to spend money to make money, and burning SHIB will make the remainder increase exponentially in value. If the burnings continue, it won't be long before the current price slump that SHIB faces is fixed, and the price spikes in 2021 will look like nothing compared to the values the doggy dollar can reach. But what do you think about all this? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to please subscribe to this channel and make sure you never miss out by ringing that bell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.